Hey there, wildlife enthusiasts! Welcome to a journey into no other but the heart of the misty bamboo forests nestled in the rainy mountains of southwestern China. Here, amidst the dense foliage, resides one of the planet's most elusive creatures, the giant panda, affectionately known simply as the panda. With only around 1,500 of these captivating black and white bears left in the wild, encountering one is truly a rare and magical experience. Their iconic markings serve a dual purpose. Not only do they aid in camouflage, blending seamlessly into their snowy surroundings with their predominantly white fur, but they also play a crucial role in communication. Join us as we explore the very fascinating world of the giant panda, uncovering the secrets behind their distinctive appearance and their remarkable survival strategies in their natural habitat. These fluffy giants are generally associated with bamboo, with a staggering 99% of their diet consisting of bamboo shoots and leaves. But don't let their vegetarian lifestyle fool you. Pandas' digestive systems are more akin to carnivores than herbivores. While bamboo reigns supreme on their menu, pandas occasionally dabble in other vegetation like pumpkin, kidney beans, and wheat, along with the occasional snack of eggs, fish, or small mammals. But here's the kicker. Pandas aren't just leisurely grazers. They're voracious eaters, consuming up to 15% of their body weight in a mere 12 hours. Imagine scarfing down 26 to 84 pounds of bamboo in a single day. That's a serious food frenzy. You see, bamboo is like the fast food of the forest, low in protein and packed with linen and cellulose. Combine that with the fact that pandas can only digest around 17% of the dry matter they consume, and you've got a recipe for some serious snacking. And speaking of bamboo, these pandas aren't picky eaters. They can chomp through stems up to 1.5 inches thick. But here's the catch. They need at least 2 bamboo species in their habitat to survive. It's a tough world out there for our bamboo-munching buddies. To keep their bellies full and their bodies healthy, pandas must gobble up to 15% of their body weight in just 12 hours. In the wild, these bamboo connoisseurs spend a whopping 12 hours a day munching away, fueled by their insatiable appetite. And with only a fifth of what they eat being digested, pandas have to chow down in bulk just to meet their nutritional needs. But it's not all about eating. Pandas need their beauty rest too. When they're not busy devouring bamboo, these shy creatures spend most of their time snoozing, catching some Z's from up to 4 hours between feeds. Now here's the scoop. All that fiber-packed feasting means pandas have regular bowel movement, and that means frequent bathroom breaks throughout the day. Yep. Pandas are pros at pooping, thanks to their fiber-rich diet keeping things moving smoothly. Now let's talk about skills. These pandas aren't just fluffy balls of fur. They're the kings and queens of versatility. They can scale heights that'll make your head spin. We're talking a staggering 13,000 feet. And guess what? They're not afraid to take a dip either. Yep. These furballs are pretty darn good swimmers. And get this, when the guys need to unwind, they sometimes kick back by pulling off epic handstands against trees. Now that's what I call panda relaxation. But it's not just their acrobatics that make them stand out. It's also their handy-dandy paws. You see, a giant panda's front paw isn't your average bear's paw. Nope, it's got 6 digits, including a specially extended wrist bone that acts like a thumbs up for gripping those bamboo stems. We go into panda politics. Did you know that a group of pandas is called an embarrassment? Yes, they are, and maybe this is why these bears are serious about their personal space. With each panda needing a cozy 1 to 3 square miles of bamboo forest, it's a fierce competition out there. So, they stake out their own patch of paradise and guard it like Fort Knox. And when it's breeding season, That's when things get interesting. Females might retreat to rock caves or tree hideouts to raise their fluffy offspring who pop into the world every 2 to 3 years. But wait, there's more. Ever heard of a communal scent mark station? Well, these pandas are all about it. They use scent to communicate and mark their territory, sometimes pulling off those legendary headstands to leave their mark even higher up in the trees. It's like a panda way of saying, hey, this is mine, back off. What about panda romance? Female giant pandas come into heat just once a year, for a mere 2 to 3 days, usually between March and May. During this time, they let out special sounds like ba or dog barks to signal their availability. Meanwhile, the male pandas are busy leaving scent marks to attract potential mates. It's a wild world out there in panda dating. Once the deed is done, males and females go their separate ways. It's all up to the mama panda to build the den and raise the young. And let me tell you, giving birth isn't a walk in the bamboo forest for these mamas. With their narrow birth canals, baby pandas are practically launched out like cannonballs. It's a tough start for these little ones. Speaking of which, when a baby panda arrives, it's a sight to behold. Weighing in at a teeny 100 grams, these pink, furless bundles of joy are totally helpless. But don't worry, within 3 weeks, their iconic black and white coats starts to grow in. And by August, you've got a whole bunch of adorable panda cubs ready to steal your heart. But the journey doesn't stop there, folks. Baby pandas have a tough road ahead. Fragile and prone to illness, their survival wasn't always guaranteed. But thanks to breeding centers, nowadays up to 90% of baby pandas make it through. From growing their first blackish hairs to taking their wobbly first steps. These little guys face challenges every step of the way. Fast forward a bit, and at 1 year old, panda cubs are weaned off their mama's milk and start exploring the world on their own. By the time they hit 1.5 years, they're ready to go solo. If mama's got another bun in the oven, that is. And as they grow into adulthood, pandas become fertile and start living that independent panda life. But watch out, because even though they might reach old age, few pandas make it past 20 years in the wild. Baby pandas come into this world as needy little bundles of furlessness. Born blind and without fur, they rely entirely on their mama's warmth, milk, and protection for the first 6 months of their lives. Talk about being totally dependent. But it's not just about being fragile. Accidents can happen too. With their weak limbs, there's a risk of being accidentally crushed by their own mothers. It's a harsh reality of panda parenting, as they have a survival rate of about 60%. And let's not forget about habitat loss. As human activities encroach on panda territory, their homes shrink and food becomes scarce. This means mama pandas might not have enough nourishment to gestate and nurse their cubs properly. It's a tough situation all around. Oh, and did you know that in the wild, half of all panda birds are twins? Yep, but sadly, it's rare for both cubs to survive. Mama pandas usually only have the resources to raise one at a time, leaving the other twin to fend for itself. It's a heartbreaking truth of nature. But despite these changes, there's hope on the horizon. Thanks to conservation efforts in China, the giant panda population has seen a remarkable comeback. From the brink of extinction to now classified as vulnerable by the IUCN, it's a success story worth celebrating. You won't believe it, but a panda year is like the equivalent of 3 human years in terms of life expectancy. Talk about living the panda dream! And get this, the granddaddy of all pandas, Xing Xing from Chongqing Zoo, clocked in an impressive 38 years and 4 months before crossing the Rainbow Bridge in 2020. That's like hitting the ripe old age at 115 in human years. Talk about a panda legend. But wait, there's more. On average, pandas can live anywhere from 14 to 35 years. depending on whether they're chilling in the wild or living the cushy life in captivity. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Studies from the Smithsonian National Zoo, the go-to spot for panda conservation, show that wild pandas usually kick it for about 15 to 20 years. It's tough out there for these solo adventurers, with human activities posing some serious risks to their survival. But don't worry, our captive panda pals have it a bit easier. With human protection and care, they can live up to a whopping 30 years. That's a big difference compared to their wild cousins, showing just how endangered pandas are in their natural habitat. So there you have it, folks, the ups and downs of life as a panda. From fragile beginnings to hopeful futures, these bears sure know how to tug at our heartstrings. Thanks for watching, and remember to keep supporting panda conservation efforts. Leave a comment and let us know what you think about pandas. Until next time, don't forget to like and subscribe.